Caitlin Clark's fierce and rapid development, along with her contributions made to women basketball. In her first year as a professional, Caitlin Clark has already broken several records and transformed the WNBA, attracting respect of Shaquille O'Neal and international fans. Among many things, Caitlin Clark is doing everything in her power to promote basketball. Keep reading as this piece explains more how she is ruffling feathers and breaking glass ceilings in the sports world. Caitlin Clark burst onto the WNBA like a hurricane, smashing the rookie status in the league. In the very first season, she has shattered the existing records, helps the struggling Indiana Fever team to become a playoff contender. She is up there among the assists and scores, which is an extremely atypical case in the WNBA, making her a weapon that none of the teams have successfully defended against. Clark is not only bringing out growth in her individual game, but she is also elevating the level of gameplay of her teammates, proving that she is not budding stardom, but is a full on the angle. Anyone who watches her play knows for a reason that her performances are always dramatic and amazing. Games after games, Clark is changing the narrative concerning rookies, wiping out all the unwritten rules and limits expected of them for a very long time. There are some things that a player does that tell you that there is something remarkable that is being done, a lesson that Shaquille O'Neal is keen on highlighting. With his attention on Angel Reese at first, Shaquille O'Neal has now turned it to Caitlin Clark and has made sure to praise her as one of the greats. Shaquille O'Neal endorsing women's basketball is significant not only because he is an all-time NBA great, but also because it demonstrates a change in the way media and sports heroes are beginning to think about women's basketball. The fact that someone like Clark has any follows and the follows are from a man of such high stature in the society means that it is because of how good she is and how hard she works on the game. O'Neal's endorsement, on the other hand, has an even bigger impact in the world of sports. Women's basketball is not an undercard, it's not even second billing. Shaquille's sudden deference to women's basketball emphasizes the necessity for attention and understanding towards women's sports, where stereotypes rooted for ages will finally be put to rest. If anything, Clark is not in any record books. She is in a person's overcoming all sorts of barriers, and that's exactly what Shaq's endorsement signifies. The most astounding thing is that while Caitlin Clark is first on the assist leaderboard, she is also a top contender in the MVP race, which very few players can achieve except in their sophomore year. Her style of play allows her to be an efficient scorer and an equally talented playmaker, making her very valuable for the Indiana Fever. What differentiates Clark is her dependability. Every single time, she comes through not just to win the game, but to reinforce her royalty in the best of the best players in the league. All basketball fans are mesmerized by her when she has the ball in her hands, and they try to show pretty much everything through numbers. She is not participating in the game, she is making it. The more assists, the more points Clark registers on the scoreboard, the more pragmatic her candidacy for the MVP award becomes. So expect a lot more from Clark, as her talent comebacks are still scorching wow and excites everyone. So powerful is her impact that comparisons to other WNBA greats have begun, and she is merely starting out. Looking through the contributions made by Caitlin Clark, it is apparent that her impact goes beyond the confines of the basketball court. She is single-handedly bringing fans back to the WNBA as millions tune into her games, with certain games' audience surpassing that of some NBA matches. It is important to note that this increase in audience activity is not happenstance. Clark's super exciting game and charming persona go off to people who perhaps would have disregarded women's basketball completely. This kind of ability of hers to entertain the viewers is indeed changing the perception of the WNBA as somewhere one can ignore and transforming it into a can't-miss league, and the figures say it all. Whether it is a regular lob pass or a no-look pass, a shoot from beyond the arc, or a three-point shot contested by a defender and time running out, or simply making the right move when right moves are mostly expected, Caitlin Clark is providing a reason for the fans to switch on their television sets. This spike in the audience is not only beneficial to Clark himself, it is beneficial to the whole league. With the increasing number of people looking at the WNBA, with that comes the possibility of advertisement, collaboration, funding, and growth, and therefore a good future for women's basketball. The Clark effect does not refer to just attracting audiences, but also filling the arenas and increasing finances for WNBA. The stardom of Caitlin Clark keeps on bringing people into the fans' seats, by virtue of which suspension of ticket sales and attendance records by teams like the Indiana Fever are getting rise. This extra revenue is important as WNBA has been historically affected by lower attendance than men's leagues. Her drawing power can not only be explained explained by her innate goodness, but her commercial side as well. As these thousands of more fans support her, the league benefits as well from rising sale of the apparel, food, and other profits. This financial increase is very important to the WNBA to enable it to survive and grow. Clark's arrival is demonstrating that women's basketball is not simply a sport, but one that can be commercialized if it has the right players. Her presence is helping the league to build a brighter and sustainable future, thereby attracting constant evolution in the league. Caitlin Clark's charisma does not end in the United States, as she is attracting fans even from countries who fly to watch her. This worldwide attention directed at Clark is suggestive of the broad interest she has and the increasing acceptance of female basketball. The fact that her fans adopt and adore her shows a global view of the WNBA, which quite evidently has a wider potential than just the United States. The global following enjoyed by Clark is indeed a good pointer to the future of the league, since it presents various opportunities in the ways of sponsorship, broadcasting, and merchandising. With that in mind, Clark is at the forefront of the WNBA's campaign for global reach and expansion, arguing that it is possible to make women's basketball popular across the globe. The way she plays is attracting a new breed of female sports enthusiasts to basketball, and she is more than just a sports celebrity within America, but a sports ambassador in the international arena. The recent explosion of Caitlin Clark in the WNBA is not some sort of a flash in the pan, it is just a glimpse of what is to come. With the records being broken, newer fans pouring in, and women's basketball reaching newfound heights, there is an expectation that the league can enter a new phase of expansion. The possibility is there, and Clark's historical achievement can only mean one thing: the league is developing, and with stars like her, smoother smiles shall be achieved. More revenues, more markets, more attention, and all of it seem achievable thanks to Clark. Of course, as the league continues to change and evolve, Clark will be an agent of this change, pushing women's sport in general into a new direction at a new stage. There are active steps being taken already, but the time of the WNBA as an international brand is only too close. Caitlin Clark is not simply repurchasing the game, she is defining the evolution of the league and gaining the attention of the world. And there you have it. Caitlin Clark has not only made headlines, but rather a phenomenon that is changing the face of the WNBA, and not only that, Caitlin has broken records and earned the respect of greats such as Shaquille O'Neal. And now all of us can see that the future of women's basketball is very promising. If you are a lifelong supporter of the league or are just beginning to appreciate its wonders, one thing is for certain: Caitlin Clark is a name that will be in the memory of people for more than a few decades to come. In the end, if you like this as much as I did to see how Caitlin goes from an ordinary girl to a legend in the making, hit that like button and subscribe for more intriguing sports analysis and stories. What do you expect in the future from Caitlin Clark in the WNBA? Thank you for watching this, and as usual, we will keep your focus on the game, as you never know when the next icon would emerge. See you in the next video. See you in the